dear children, welcome to today's biology class. Today also we are going to discuss the chapter life processes. In this chapter we have already discussed about some important life process, that is nutrition, respiration and transportation. I hope you all got an idea about these life processes and also you have studied it, right? Okay, today we will start with the another life process, that is excretion. See children, in our body, under normal conditions, that is while we are doing some activities or sitting simply or sleeping or whatever may be. So in that all conditions, our living cells in our body functions all the time or work all the time in order to maintain our life. But if any of the cells or certain cells in a particular organ could not function properly, what happens? It will affect that particular functioning of that particular organ, and so it will affect that particular organ system also, and that organ system could not function properly. So all these activities performed by each and every living cells in our body, we call it as the metabolic activities. So these metabolic activities include synthesis of proteins, synthesis of carbohydrates, production of certain hormones in our body, and the oxidation of food to release energy, etc. etc. In plants also, photosynthesis takes place. So in that, carbon dioxide is converted into carbohydrate in the presence of sunlight and water. So all these metabolic activities take place in the form of biochemical reactions. Okay, and while these biochemical reactions take place, certain waste substances or certain byproducts are also formed along with the useful substances. These useful products obtained as a result of certain metabolic activities are utilized by the body for or cell for so many purposes. But what happens is waste products obtained, these waste products, if accumulate in the cells or in our body, will lead to some malfunctioning of the cells. So these waste products should be eliminated from our body. So during these metabolic activities, variations may occur in the water content or the ionic content in our body fluids, and this also should be regulated. The water content or the ionic content may increase or decrease in our body fluids, that is blood, lymph, blood cell, body cells, etc. This also should be regulated. Then only our body can function properly, and the body will be in a steady state and can function properly. Okay, so for that there are two processes in our body, takes place in our body, that is excretion and osmoregulation. Now, what do you mean by excretion? Excretion is a biological process by which an organism gets rid of or expels excess or toxic waste products of metabolism. So expelling out these waste products from our body is known as excretion. And what is osmoregulation? It is a process of maintaining the amount of water and proper ionic balance in the body fluids. That is, potassium ions, chloride ions, sodium ions, etc. are present in our body fluids, that is blood, lymph and body cells. And if the amount of these ions increase, it will affect the cell and the excess ions are expelled out from the cell. And if the amount of certain ions decrease, what happens? It will be regained by the cells, and thus maintains a constant osmotic condition by regulating this water and ions in the body fluids, and this process is known as osmoregulation. Now, what is the need of excretion in organisms, or what are the importance of excretion? The excretory process removes the unwanted byproducts of metabolic pathways that we have discussed, and it removes the toxic chemical substance obtained as a result of biochemical reactions that which damage the cells, that also are removed by the process of excretion. It regulates the water content of the body, and it regulates the osmotic pressure of body fluids by maintaining the ionic concentration, because the balancing of these ions are necessary for the proper enzyme activity, for proper protein synthesis, and for the contraction and relaxation of muscles and so many other metabolic activities also. And it regulates the pH of the body fluids by maintaining the salt or ionic concentration. So these are the importance of excretion. What are the major excretory products in organisms, formed in organisms? The major excretory products formed in organisms are the nitrogenous compounds such as ammonia, urea and uric acid, and some other pigments like bile pigments and water and some other ions. And these are the excretory products produced in the animals. Now we can discuss about the excretory process in different organisms. In different organisms, the elimination of waste takes place in different methods. In case of unicellular organisms, they do not have any organs for excretion of waste. So, the waste products like ammonia and carbon dioxide normally pass out from the surface of the body into the surrounding by the process of diffusion. Some freshwater unicellular organisms like amoeba, paramecium, etc. possess a contractile vacuole which collects excess water and waste, nitrogenous waste from the body, and reaches the body surface and bursts out the waste into the surroundings. In some simpler multicellular organisms like sponges, sea anemones, starfish, etc. also do not have a specific excretory organ, but they have a canal system in which water enters through the pores in the body, and this water reaches almost all their cells and expelled out with the waste materials through a common opening. Some more advanced organisms like flatworms have flame cells as their excretory organ. Some more complex organisms, multicellular organisms like earthworm, have nephridia as their excretory organ. And the excretion takes place, some of the excretion takes place through the moist skin also. Now, the insects like ant, spider, butterfly, cockroach, etc. have another organ called Malpighian tubule as their excretory organ. The mollusks such as snail, freshwater mussel, etc. and the vertebrates have kidney as their excretory organ. So we humans are also included in vertebrates, and we also have kidney as our excretory organ. In humans, there is an excretory system which consists of organs that take part in the separation and elimination of nitrogenous waste from blood. Now, we can discuss in detail about the excretory system in humans. The excretory system in humans consists of a pair of kidneys, a pair of ureters, urinary bladder, and an urethra. These four organs together form the excretory system in humans. Now, let us see how does excretion takes place with the help of these organs. The kidneys are reddish brown bean-shaped organs which is 12 cm long and 6 cm thick and about 150 to 170 gram weight. They are located towards the back of the lowest part of abdominal cavity, one on either side of the backbone. Left kidney is little larger and placed little higher than the right kidney. Each kidney has an outer cortex portion and an inner medulla portion, and in these portions there are present filtration units called nephrons. There are present about 1 million nephrons in a kidney, and with the help of which filtration of nitrogenous waste from the blood takes place and urine is formed. Each kidney has a fissure or hilum for the entry of renal artery and exit of renal veins and ureters. Renal artery brings oxygenated blood with the nitrogenous waste products, and renal veins carries deoxygenated blood from which nitrogenous waste products are removed, and the urine formed in the kidney is collected by the ureters. These ureters are a pair of whitish narrow muscular tubes about 30 cm long, and each ureters arises from the hilum of the kidney. It moves downwardly and opens into the urinary bladder. Next, urinary bladder. It is a pear-shaped muscular sac. It stores the urine brought by the two ureters. And the next is the urethra. It is a long tube that takes urine from the urinary bladder to outside. The opening of the urinary bladder into urethra is guarded by a ring of muscles or sphincter muscles. When the urinary bladder gets filled, we feel an urge to pass the urine outside. That time, the sphincter muscles relax and the urine is released out from the or expelled out from the body through the urethra. So that is about the structure of excretory system in humans. Children, I hope all of you understood the topics that we have discussed today. Right? Now read the textbook thoroughly and prepare the notes and do the assignments also. Okay? Thank you.